What's up guys, I'm going to show you how to actually in-depth motion track on Element3D in After Effects. So the software I'm going to be using is obviously After Effects CS6 and Vegas Pro just to render the clip for the cinematic that we want to use. Okay, so first thing you want to do is find a motion track cinematic. Preferably nowadays 1080p 60 fps looks a lot better than 720p. People will notice it if they obviously are viewing videos in 1080p or 720p because you'll notice a quality difference. So I don't actually have any 1080p 60 fps clips, but I have this one which I downloaded which is 720p 59 frames a second. This has a bunch of clips in, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and open Vegas Pro, and then we are going to go ahead and render this clip out. We're going to go ahead and find the actual clip that we want, or the cinematic, and then we're going to actually render it out so we can put it into After Effects. Okay, so now we're in. Go ahead and import your footage, so the clip that you want to put on. So mine was on desktop, editing, cinematics, BO2, motion track, it was turbine. I'll just right click accent, there we go. Okay, so you import this in. Okay, and I'm going to drag it down here. Okay, I like to edit in 1080p, but for this video I'm actually going to change this to 1280 by 720 because it just matches the cinematic. So, but if you're editing a video with 1080p 60 fps clips, you obviously won't want to render it in 720p, you'd render it in 1080p. So make sure you have it set to whatever you're editing in. So I'm going to do 720p, 59.94 is the frame rate, which is 60 fps, so set this to best, and then click OK. Right, so now find the cinematic you want to use. So I'm going to use, just want to find the bit that you actually like. Okay, you all people now. Okay, so I'm going to actually do one here. So I'm going to split it here. So you press S to split, by the way. Split it there. How long is that clip? 59 to 2 seconds. That's going to be a bit short, so let's find another one. Let's just go from back here, and the cinematic will come in like that. Okay, and then we'll split that there. Okay, so this is what we're going to have. I'll just cut the audio out, we don't need the audio on, if I can remember how to do it. I'll just, if you want to just delete the audio, just press U and then just delete. Okay, so that's what we're going to have. So that's what we're going to be working with on the motion track. So let's go and render this. So before you do that, right click the clip, disable resample, just to make sure you don't get any ghosting when you render it. Let's go again. Main concept, Internet HD 720p, 59.940, project, best, and we'll set this to 14,000. Let's just call this turbine MT1. Okay, now that's going to go through and render. It shouldn't really take that long. Okay, there we go, that's done. So now we can close this. There you go. You see you've got your cinematic here, and it's in 60 fps. Right, so now you want to go ahead and open up After Effects. And this is where we're going to actually get to work on the motion track. I did do this tutorial, I think it was about 2 years ago now, so obviously a new version of Element has actually come out now, so it's a lot easier to do. So I'll show you how you can do it now. Just gotta wait for After Effects to load. Okay, so now we're in Element. You want to go ahead, composition, new composition. Let's go 1280p by 1280 by 720p. Frames per second, 59.94. 8 seconds. We'll do this. Put this up to 11 seconds on the motion track. This is just going to be a motion track cinematic. Let's go motion track composition. Okay, so click OK. You get this, so go ahead and import your file. So you want to go import file wherever you saved it. So mine's probably on the desktop, I'm not too sure. Actually it'll be in documents, I think. Yeah, so import that. Okay, so drag this down to here, and you're going to see you'll have your cinematic there. So go ahead and run preview this. After Effects, what are you doing? Right, no, this is a bit odd. Okay, there we go. Don't know what happened then, but okay, it worked. Right, so now you've got your cinematic run preview, so it's really smooth. Go ahead and right click, you want to go track camera. Okay, this is going to find all the track points in the actual clip, so this might take a couple of some time, so depending on your computer. So you see mine's going there, it's on 20% already. Because it's best to have, if you're doing cinematics, just shorter the cinematic, the quicker it's going to track the camera in. You can also, for example, you don't have to track the whole clip, you could split it just where you want the motion track if you're going to do masking or something around a corner. Yeah, so you don't have to actually motion track the whole clip, but it's not going to make any difference on this anyway, so it's on 99%. Okay, it's going to go ahead and solve the camera. Then you're going to get all this. So these are all your track points. Okay, so okay, so now we've tracked the clip. You want to go ahead and pick a point where you want your text. So I'm going to sort of have it floating in here. So I'm going to pick. Just make sure we actually select. Oops. Click the arrow. I'm going to actually have. I want it floating here. So I'm just going to track against this wall. So you can see the target icon indicates how it's going to lay. So you see it's laying flat with the wall. So right click, create null in camera when you've found where you want. Open track null 1, go to transform. You will look at this position part here. Go to layer, new, we'll go to solid. Let's go to Element3D. Okay. Go to effect, video copilot. Oops, effect. Select your layer, effect, video copilot element. Okay. So now you want to actually add your text in. So whatever you want this to say. So I'm going to go let's go to ZEPH presents. Okay, so you see we've got ZEPH presents. So what you want now, you can actually scale it up and scale it down. So actually that isn't scale, that is okay, it is a scale. So some text will space out as the text goes down, you see. So you can actually do is just mess around with it, put it up and put it down like that. So I think that looks pretty good. So turn that layer off, go over to element, click your clip, press Ctrl D, right click time, freeze frame, and then I'm actually going to rename the layer just to ease of use. Let's just call this background. Okay, go over to element, go to custom layers, custom text and tasks and masks, custom text and masks, sorry. Go over to ZEPH presents as a text, custom texture maps. I'm going to go ahead and click background, click scene setup, click extrude. You'll have your text there. So this is where it gets kind of tricky, and you have to sort of figure out what you want to actually put on. So you can have materials and stuff on. I don't really know if they work. I don't think they do. Just delete this, extrude. So look in the bevels folder. I've got a custom bevel which is non-create. So this bevel just like a black and shiny black bevel. It's by non-create. So go to his YouTube channel. It's non-cre, the number 8 and an S, and you can download that for free. Go to physical. Then you've got all the custom sort of bevels that are provided by default. So when you find one, you can either download one that you like, or you can just select a simple one like that. You can zoom in with the scroll button as well. Yeah, so once you've found one that you like, you can go over to this little drop down. You've got gold basic, and you can change sort of the reflection colours as well. So reflection, this is fully reflective by the looks of it. I'm going to do about this colour because it sort of matches the ground in the clip. You see it's quite reflective as well. Okay, yeah, I'm happy with that, so let's click OK. Okay, you might not actually see this here. You might not actually see text yet, but which isn't a problem, so don't freak out if you don't see text. The only problem I would say is if you go on here and you don't actually see this bit where it says your text. Check if you've actually got your text in the right place, and if it says something like gives you an error message up here in red, then you haven't got your text in the right place. If the screen's just black, however, go over to Video Copilot's website and go over to Element3D supported graphics cards. Click specifications, GPU. There's a GPU list. Make sure your GPU's down there. Mine isn't down there for some reason, but it should be in the middle of these two because I'm on the GTX 1050. Yeah, so these are the actual supported. Make sure that you're not running Intel graphics cards and not supported with Element3D, as it says at the top. Here you say minimal. You've got GTX, all the GTX mobile ones there. You've got the 640s, you've got the AMDs. Okay, so just make sure you're in one of these, one of these sort of spectrums, and then you shouldn't really have any problems. If you're in this category here, then you should be absolutely fine. Okay, so now let's click OK. So, like I said, open track null. You want to go ahead and look at the position line, so this line here. Click your element layer, go to group 1. Let's just minimize that. Go to group 1, particle replicator, then you've got your position. So you want to go ahead and copy this position over to here, and that's going to get your track point. So it will be somewhere here. You see it's already moved. So copy the two. Is that right? Yep. So as you can see, we've moved it to where your actual track position was. So now you can sort of move it. It just gives you a rough idea. You can sort of move it to where you want. And bearing in mind, don't scale it up with these. You actually want to scale it up with particle look and then particle size. Scale it up with that, otherwise you'll get blurry and pixelation. Okay, so now you've done that, you can see it looks like it's sitting at this point here. So I'm going to actually bring it out slightly, bring it down now. Let's move it up. Let's move it along slightly. So now it looks like it's, it's floating there, and it looks pretty good. Okay, so one thing I forgot to mention actually, go back into scene setup, go into environment, go down here, select your custom layer 1. We did rename it, but I don't think it really worked. And you'll get this nice sort of shiny effect. You can change what colour the reflection actually is if you go over to the gold basic. Diffuse colour, I think it is. And then let's go to the sort of goldish colours. You want to do sort of a lighter colour to what it normally is. As you can see, you'll get the reflections in the map. Okay, and then if I RAM preview this, you'll see here, look, you'll get the reflections from actually in the map. I mean, it's pretty nice. It just gives that extra feel, and rather it's just text sitting there on its own, it interacts with the environment. Okay, so you just let that go and RAM preview if you've seen enough. So if you're happy with that, you can go ahead and render that out. As you see, it will go all the way. And you'll get this at the end, because it's be the end of your clip. So if you do that, go just a frame before, copy this and just put it into the end of your composition settings. So composition settings, put that in the end there. Which means mine's 11 seconds long. Or you can just render it anyway and cut it out. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so now we've done that, I'm going to go into the advanced bit of sort of animation of the letters and characters. So go over to the element layer and go over to particle, go over to multi-object, sorry, in particle look, enable multi-object, and you're going to see all this bunch of stuff will pop up now. So I preferably like to use scatter. Zoom out slightly, you'll see I like to use scatter, so you can sort of scatter them around and they'll sort of fly into each other like this. Obviously it's not going to do anything yet because you're not animated, but I mean, it looks pretty cool. You could do it with there's a lot of stuff you can do. You could do it if someone shoots through a window, you could scatter them, and it'll look pretty cool. So go to your starting frame. You want to go ahead, animate these 3, so you've got scatter X, Y, Z. Animate these 3. I sort of want them to come together about here. So go 0, 0, 0, and you'll see you'll make a new keyframe. And if I go ahead and RAM preview this, you'll see that all the letters sort of will float back into each other. It looks quite cool, to be honest. Okay, and you'll see they're back together now, so that's what it actually looks like. So obviously I wouldn't have it that strong, but probably just about there, you see. Obviously when you're like this strong, it looks ridiculous really. You might like it, but I don't think it looks that nice. But sort of have them, I'm going to sort of have them just scatter around there. So I'm going to go back and then sort of just change this down. Let's go back to 0. So just scatter them slightly, just like that. And I think that looks a lot better than having them, you know, everywhere. One thing you can do is you can rotate them. So you can go ahead, just rotate the letters however you want them, but I'm just not going to rotate them anyway. I mean, yeah, you can sort of displace them as well. Move them around, but I'm just not going to do that. The Z rotation, so you can have them sort of, you know, rotating in. That's just a random rotation, I think. Yeah. Let's put this around there. Make sure you click the little time button there. Go over to where this is. This is just rough, but if you're going to do this properly, make sure you go back and do it properly. Let's go and preview this. Right, okay, so just there, you can see how they're all clumped together. That's going to be a common problem that you'll run into when you're rotating your letters. So that's basically just saying that your rotation is too much. So if you just scale this down slightly, see they're all sort of jumbled in with each other. Let's try and turn this to 0. Oops, let's put this to 0. Go back to the start. Make sure you're at the start before you change your keyframes. So let's just delete that. Change that to 0. Okay, yeah, so you can see they're sort of all in the place. So let's go ahead and we'll move these. So you can see sort of like you just have to mess around with them. It's just gonna, it will get slightly annoying, but it's just because obviously like let's see what that looks like. It will get annoying when you're doing rotations, but you still get the hang of it in the end. So that looks a lot better. Now I've actually aligned the letters properly. We'll just let this fully run preview so you can just see what it looks like. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like. It look a bit weird because you've got your different scatter point there, but if you go back to the start, if you have problems, just reset them. And then you'll be fine. So let's have a look if we can move this over. You can probably just get away with just moving one of these actually. It just depends on how much of an effect how far you really want to go to make it look good. Go rotation. Sort of rotate them slightly. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So you can see it sort of comes in rotated like that. And then they sort of, you know, they sort themselves out and then they line up properly. as you can see, if you play that back, okay, I think that looks pretty good. It just gives it sort of an, sort of atmosphere to work with, to move around like that. For example, also if you have a logo, let's go just find a simple logo, such as the phase logo. Okay, so just grab a phase logo, save it image as, editing, let's go logos, logs, wow, brilliant, logos, go in there, let's go phase, save that in there. Okay, so now you've done that, you can minimize all these because you've done all that. Go ahead and go to File, Import File. See if I can remember how to do this properly. I haven't done this in a couple of years, so at desktop, find where you saved your logo. So mine's in here, logos, phase logo. Go down to your phase logo. You don't see it until you move it up. Okay. So go ahead over to your masking tool here, and you just want to go ahead and go around the phase logo. So I was going to do this rough because if you're going to do this properly, then you'd go around it properly and make sure you get all the points. Try and just do single clicks on each corner as well, because it's going to make the image look a lot more crisp and the mask look a lot more crisp than it would just doing it normally. So you got there, you got masks, got mask 1. Okay, turn the layer off. Go ahead into your element layer again. Go ahead, if it don't come up, go ahead and click effect controls. Let's close particle replicate and particle look. So don't need them anymore. Group utilities. Okay, let's close group 1. This is going to be group 2, you see. So let's go custom layers, custom text and maps. We want path layer 2, phase logo. Guys, to actually get the phase logo working, what you wanted to do is go over into Element3D and make sure you've got your custom layers as your phase logo in there. It's number 2. So you're really going to see the ZEPH presents one, so, or whatever you called your text. So go new group folder. You want to go ahead, press Control D on this. There's a custom path 2. Go ahead, drag this into group folder. Change the one that your phase logo is into number 2. Okay. So I'm just going to apply a bevel light. I'm just going to use non's bevel. Click OK. And you're going to see your phase logo will appear now. So let me just go over to how this should be. So your phase logo is absolutely huge and it should not be that big. So go over to group 2. Go over. Let's move it over slightly. Go down to particle look, particle size, scale this down. So I want it about this big, I think, which looks okay. Just move it more into the center of the text, like that. Okay, so you're going to see, I'm going to have this. It looks pretty good. If you have like a clan logo you're editing for or something, you can put that there. Let's run preview it, see what it looks like. Okay, so now you've got that. That's what it's going to look like. Looks pretty cool. Okay, so you've actually got a logo in there now. Okay, make sure you also go into scene setup. I keep forgetting to do this, but go into your extrusion model environment, make sure that's set, and then you've got your environment there, so it interacts with the sort of environment. Okay, and there you go, there's your motion track sort of done. And I mean, when it all comes together, you can sort of add, you can go ahead into layer new, adjustment layer, shift D to split. You can go ahead over to effects, go to CC light burst 2.5. You can move this to there in the middle, or where you want it to be. Now you can keyframe this, so I'm going to go ahead and keyframe these two. So I'm just going to really want it that sort of bright, so if you put it there, then you can sort of just zero it out and then zero it again, and then you have your sort of animated motion track when it all comes together. So we'll go run preview this. CC light burst does actually kill your computer for some reason. I have no idea why. Okay, so if you play that, that's what it's going to look like. So it's just sort of a screen pump with a flash. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. You can do it with a beat or something. So yeah, that's sort of the motion track done. Let's go ahead and we'll cut this. Okay, After Effects is Crash Dummer. Okay, so let's just go ahead and cut this to 5 seconds. So go composition settings, cut this to 5 seconds. You're going to notice your composition will look a lot more shorter than what it's normally looking like. Go to composition, just forget that was ever there, that shouldn't be there. Go composition, add to render queue, hit best settings, however you want to render it as. So if you're going to upload the whole edit as 60 FPS, you'd put it as that, but I'm just going to render it in 30 because there's no difference really, other than it's just going to be smoother. Go over to this, go H.264, go format options. I'll put mine in the middle, so around 100, let's type 150 sort of ish. Click OK. If you have audio, you want to select audio output, but we don't. Okay, you can put this as just do motion track composition. Click save. A little trick you can do when you're rendering videos is press caps lock, as it won't preview when you render, so you'll notice it will render a lot more quicker. So this is just going through now and rendering the actual scene. Okay, so you're going to see that's done now. Let's go ahead and we'll have a look. I'll save, so you got motion track composition, and there you go. That's what it actually looks like in once it's done. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, it just gives you sort of an insight on how to mask shapes. You can do this with all sorts of stuff. Say if you're going to put something on the wall, or it doesn't have to be just logos. But also, I forgot to say, I'm going to leave a link down to this pack down below, and you can actually, if you get stuck, you can have a look at what I've done. So I'm just going to save this onto the desktop. We'll call this Element3D tutorial pack. Okay, let's close this. We'll go a new folder. Element3D tutorial. Oh, my spelling's terrible today. Goodness me. Tutorial pack. So drag that in there. I'll also put a copy of the cinematic in there as well. So I should have that rendered in my documents. So, documents. Let's put this in. Next thing you'll need is the font. So let's go ahead and I'll put a font in there. Let's drag it in there, and then we'll copy and paste. Okay, so I've put all the stuff in there. I'll upload that, and then you can download that if you get stuck, or if you just want to, say if you just want to copy it, and then you can just change it to your own. If you do use it, then just let me know. Leave a like if you download it. Tag me in it, and I'll like and comment on it for you. Okay, links down in the description if you want to download it for free. And then just let me know if you use it, or you can credit me if you want. I'd like to be credited because obviously I've put some time and effort into this. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys later.